On November 15th, 2023, Dominica was listed in an article called The Best Places to Go in North America and the Caribbean in 2024. The article reads, and I quote, Dominica has so much to impress. One look out of the plane as it approaches the eastern Caribbean country with its blanket of lush rainforests and towering mountains, and you'll understand why it's called the Nature Island. With 3 national parks perfect for hiking, bird watching, and swimming in crystal clear lakes, as well as black sand beaches and natural hot springs, there's little that an outdoor enthusiast can't do here in Dominica. In 2024, Dominica will make it even easier to enjoy its show-stopping landscape as it builds towards a more sustainable future. The island's first geothermal plant will be commissioned in 2025 and will dramatically reduce its dependence on fossil fuel energy. In the first half of 2024, Dominica will be the home to the world's longest detachable cable car system, with a 4.1-mile long route transporting riders from Roseau Valley to the top of the Boiling Lake in just 20 minutes for an extensive island view. It follows the 2022 opening of the Waitukubuli Sea Trail, a 37-mile marine route that takes hikers through a vibrant coastline off the western side of the island. And when you get to this beautiful destination called Dominica, where do you stay? Where, oh where, oh where? And guess what? You can stay at Seacliff Cottages, Seacliff Eco Cottages in Calabishi. That's where you stay in Dominica when you get here, okay? So good morning to all the beautiful people in Dominica and welcome to another program of Talking Tourism. If you're locked in via social media, good morning. If you're with us on the frequencies on radio, good morning to you. My name is Monelle Alexis. I'm the Public Relations and Communication Specialist at the Discover Dominica Authority, and it's my honor to be the host of Talking Tourism and to be with you this morning. This morning we are exploring the Seacliff Eco Cottages. And with me in Studio 2 is the man himself, Mr. Simon Morris. Gonna say hi and good morning to you, Simon. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Good morning. It's very good to be here.
And thank you for joining me on Talking Tourism. Simon, how you doing? How you enjoying the Nature Island? It's sunny outside. There was rain yesterday, sun this morning. How are you feeling? How's your morning going?
Feeling good. Yeah, we love Dominica. And honestly, I love the spells of rain to give all the lush vegetation, and the jungle looks so good, and then the sun comes right out again to warm you up. It's a good combination.
You said that we love Dominica. Who's we?
We is my wife, Amber, and our 2 boys. We have 2 boys, Teddy and Louis. Teddy is 10 and Louis is 9 years old.
Oh, awesome. And what do you guys love about being in Dominica? Pray tell.
Yes. We love being in the nature, so we live up in Calabishi. That's where Seacliff Eco Cottages is. And we totally love just being immersed in that beautiful, stunning kind of nature environment. But we also have just really enjoyed learning and trying to integrate in the culture here. We found it to be such a welcoming culture. Where we are in Calabishi, the boys are in a local school. And we've just really enjoyed learning so much about the culture of Dominica, and all of us, from myself and my wife and our kids too. And it's just been such a great learning curve of learning a new culture.
I'm happy that you guys chose Dominica and you're having a pleasant experience.
Thank you.
This is awesome. But we're here to talk about the Seacliff Eco Cottages that you own, and we're going to talk more about your family life here because your family has been doing an amazing job in marketing Dominica, not just your accommodation, but also the island as a whole. So we're going to explore that on Talking Tourism right after this.
Dominica is a mountainous famous island country in the Caribbean, which is also sometimes referred to as a natural island because of its mostly untapped rainforest, water bodies, and mountainous topography. Here are the top 9 unforgettable.
Let's get into the talk. This morning we're talking Seacliff Eco Cottages. And in studio with us we have Simon Morris. Simon, can you start by giving us a brief introduction to Seacliff Cottages and your role in the company?
Yes, of course. So Seacliff Eco Cottages, we have 5 solar-powered cottages on a cliff top in Calabishi with amazing views of the Atlantic in 2 acres of tropical gardens. We also have an on-site gin distillery, which is fun. It's a nice little added bonus if you're going to come and stay with us or visit us. And myself and my wife Amber, we're the owners of Seacliff.
You mentioned gin distillery. What's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you're so excited about that.
Well, of course.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I like gin. I'm British. Gin is one of our national drinks. So, it's important. But no, honestly, we were very inspired since being in Dominica, just at the amazing plants and flowers and flavors that are already in amazing things like bush rum and bush tea. And so we thought we could try these flavors in a gin, and see how that goes. So that was a little experiment that we started like about a year or so ago, but it's going well.
And what's the feedback like?
It's been very good. Yes, we did our research. We wanted to make sure that Dominicans enjoyed gin, and so with our Dominican friends, as we were getting the recipe and the ingredients right, we definitely had lots of taste testings with our friends. We're like, will Dominicans like this drink? How does this taste? So good feedback from Dominicans, good feedback from visitors who come. So it's been going well.
And where can persons find that gin, that exciting gin that you're talking about? And I want to sample it. Where can I find it?
Yes, so we're in Fresh Market, we're in Whitchurch, we're in Astafans, we're in S-Mart, in Roseau, and then in Portsmouth, we're in Savers. And then we also are in a few bars and restaurants. We're in Sutton Place House, we're in Lacou. We also obviously sell from our property. We do gin tasting tours, which are free tours that anyone can just get in touch with us and arrange a time to come and do a tour. And as part of our tour, we have a gin botanicals trail in our garden, so people can walk around and sample the bay leaf and smell the lemongrass and all the ingredients that are in the gin, and then come and have a taste of it in our small batch distillery.
Listen, this is fantastic. This is superb. Congratulations to you and your family. So you don't only have a resort here, or rather an accommodation in Dominica, you also have a distillery that you're doing. And have you been employing locals in your distillery?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I should give full credit to my wife. She's the one who makes the gin. I talk about the gin. I'm the marketer. I do the tours and I drink the gin. So it's quite a good partnership. But yes, we've just started employing an amazing guy called Glenson, who's working alongside my wife with the manufacture of the gin, and he's amazing. He's proved invaluable already with helping us. And so, yeah, everything we try and do with our business, both the cottages and the gin, we try and collaborate and partner as much as we can with local businesses and local folks who bring such amazing skills to the table. And we feel like we're constantly learning from folks here in Dominica. We have so much to learn coming from another country, and we've been here about 3 years now, and I just know we'll always be learning, always be learning. So we try and kind of keep that posture of learning and collaborating and partnering as much as we can.
That's awesome. And congratulations to you on that venture.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. Well, let's talk more about your Eco Cottages. What inspired you to open Seacliff Cottages, and how has the journey been so far?
Yes. So it was an existing business. It'd been going for about 30 years or so up in Calabishi, and we bought it about 3 years ago. So we were actually visiting Dominica on a trip. It was a longer trip. We were here for 2 months, and we totally fell in love with Dominica. And we had an amazing time here. And we felt like we'd been in New York City, in Brooklyn before that for 11 years. So a little bit of a different kind of life. But we did feel like during our travels that maybe there was a new adventure for our family, a new chapter for us. And so, yeah, we came to Dominica. We fell in love with the island. And then Seacliff Cottages was actually for sale. And so we spent the full 2 months here, deliberating and are we going to do this? Are we going to take this step? And we did.
And no regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
That's awesome. To tell, what makes Seacliff Cottages different from other accommodation options in Dominica?
Yes. So I would say it's kind of where nature meets art and design with how we've renovated and how we've put the cottages together. So we're obviously in a beautiful natural setting. That's our starting point. So we don't want to mess with that. You know, the views to the sea, the 2 acres of tropical garden, the views to the mountains, that's all there. And each cottage very much has its own space in our garden. So I would say that's one thing that we really want to enhance, the privacy of nature and flowers. And I'm the gardener, so I'm constantly like planting new beautiful flowers and trees and fruit trees for our guests to enjoy. But then the art and the design is with the interiors of our cottages and the furnishings. My wife used to be a fashion designer in New York, so she's really enjoyed
lovely.
bringing that eye to the artwork. But then, of course, we want to really embrace the local art. So we have, actually, our good friend is Chase Lawrence, an artist in Calabishi. So we have a lot of his artwork in our cottages, beautiful artwork showing local scenes and local people. And then we also incorporate like some beautiful weavings from the Kalinago territory. Jeanette is one of our friends in the reserve, and she's helped us bring in these beautiful Kalinago weavings. So that's included in our cupboards and our artwork. And so, we try and kind of bring those small details to the cottages. Oh, we also we work with an amazing carpenter called Dixon Sono, who's based up near Tukari, and he's built us some beautiful outdoor wooden lounge chairs and furniture. So yeah, I guess that eye to detail of creating a really thoughtfully designed place that feels very Dominican and that's very collaborative with local artists.
And can you describe the type of experience guests can expect when they choose to stay at Seacliff Cottages?
Yes.
And what has their feedback been like?
Yes. So definitely like a peaceful sanctuary is an experience that guests have when they come to us. It's so peaceful there. Each cottage is fully equipped with a kitchen and all the things, so you can be quite independent when you come and stay and cook for yourself. But I will say, as well as the sanctuary of the views and nature, we're so close to Calabishi village. So it's so nice to see our guests, and we encourage them to like go and hang out in the village, go to the bars, go to the restaurants, and some of our best friends like run some lovely bars and restaurants in the village, like Brian and Kenisha, our friends, run Island Twist, which is this beautiful bar right on the waterfront in Calabishi. And so we're close enough for our guests to get a real experience of community and culture, not just be tucked away somewhere up in away, but we're very like close to nature. And then in terms of responses from guests, so many of our guests talk about our manager Rowan and Pascal, who's part of the Seacliff team. Pascal's been part of the team for years and years before we took over the business, and Rowan is a more recent, the last few years, she's been our manager. And so many of our reviews online mention Rowan and Pascal, like, oh my God, Pascal brought us these amazing coconuts, the plantains and bananas, and Rowan was so helpful and friendly. And so, yeah, those two guys always get a mention on our reviews.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy that the community is integrated into your project. That's commendable. That's awesome. Let's talk more about nearby attractions. So apart from the community and the supporting or participating in activities in the community, are you able to get these tourists out of Calabishi on some tours or adventures? Is that also part of your package?
Yeah, totally. So we have some great local guides in Calabishi. They work with Nigel George, Wendy Marcelin, and we always connect guests with them to take folks on hiking tours and this and that. Also, actually, I recently hiked Boiling Lake with Nathan Roll. He's based up in Loda, and he was amazing guide. So it's great to have a few guide contacts that we can tell our guests about and just say, okay, if you want this is your guy. If you want this one, this is your guy. So we definitely try and connect guests with things all over the island, not just in our area.
Let's talk about Boiling Lake. How was that experience for you?
Yes, it was amazing. It was amazing. And it was crazy that I've lived in nearly 3 years and it took me a while to get around to it. I had a dodgy knee and I had excuses. My wife actually did the hike before I did with some friends. But I was like, it's my time. And I thought I would do it on my own before maybe taking our kids just to sort of test it out. But I knew I was going to go with a guide, and so yeah, Nathan was an amazing guide. He was so cool, and the hike is incredible. It's absolutely, it exceeded expectations, even though I was already so excited to do it. And it's quite intense, definitely. And but the views are amazing. The Valley of Desolation was my favorite. The colors and the smoke and the steam and everything. It's incredible.
And I can see your face lighting up when you speak about the island, and that is, it's heartwarming. Some persons, they talk about Dominica and the expression they're feeling, it's not like yours. And all your details about Dominica and your adventures, there's this bright spark in your eyes, and your lips fully stretch and your teeth are punching outside.
Yes. We love it.
So I am happy that you've been having a very pleasant experience in Dominica, and your time here has been wonderful. And I'm more comforted to the fact because of you supporting locals and the community and giving back. So for you, it's not just about the business. It's about how can you support the community. And look, you're going further than just your community. You have extended beyond the community. So that's truly commendable. And someone is saying, Sharon is saying, thanks, Simon, for choosing our island as your place of residence. By the way, Seacliff Gin is a great product.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Sharon.
So I'm going to go get me a bottle today.
Very good.
I will get a bottle today. And I do remember, I recall staying at Seacliff for a short while. There was a time we did a writer's retreat. Yes, I was at a writer's retreat in Seacliff Cottages. And I had a very memorable stay. You guys were awesome. Your wife was amazing. The environment, the service, everything top notch. And I like the garden, the fact that you can walk around and just pick fruits and eat along the way. Close, as you mentioned, the close proximity to the community, and everything just ties in perfectly. I highly recommend, certainly.
I'm glad you had a good time.
And I thank you for that and your lovely wife. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. We're talking tourism this morning. We have Mr. Simon Morris with us from Seacliff Echo Cottages in Calabishi.
In Dominica, number 9.
And we're back. This is Talking Tourism. My name is Monelle Alexis. If you're now joining us, good morning and welcome. We're here with Simon Morris, Simon of Seacliff Cottages, and we're talking about his cottage, and we're also talking about his amazing adventures in Dominica with him and his family. Earlier, I would have recalled my lovely experience at Seacliff Cottages, but I do want more information, or the public should know more about the different activities and events that persons can participate in at Seacliff Cottages. So, can you tell us more about the events and activities that people can participate in at Seacliff Cottages? And if they have, I know that you host Writers Retreat, events like these, and what else can be done at your business place?
Saying that we have one of Dominica's amazing beaches, like right on our doorstep beneath our cliff is Hodges Beach, and there's a trail that just goes, a 5-minute trail that goes right from near our property right down to the beach. And this beach is so wonderful because this amazing river meets the sea there, so you can swim in the sea, and then you can rinse off the salt and have a little dip in the river right next to you. And there's a beautiful little rocky island with palm trees just offshore, and it's right on our doorstep. It's incredible. So that's just something that's kind of right there. And then obviously around us, up in the northeast there, we have some of the island's best beaches, like Bataboo is a stone throw away, number 1 beach. Woodford Hill Beach is beautiful and so accessible. So we're so well situated for beaches. And then also Chaudière Pool, which is a hike and a a river plunge that we love as well, that our guests always talk about being very magical. So we have all those activities right on our doorstep. Something I'd like to mention as well is we've really tried to curate the cottages with libraries of books, and not just any old books, but we try and have Caribbean authors in the cottages, so that people can read books that are written by Caribbean writers, by Dominican writers. We also have a book menu that we offer to guests, so it's all books from local Dominican publishing house Papillote Press. Obviously, they produce amazing local books. So we offer guests to be able to buy those. So we have Dr. Alwyn Bully's Coco Dancer, his short story collection for sale. We have Celia Sorendo's a few of her collections of poetry for sale. Books like this. So we're, again, trying to help people engage with culture in Dominica. Oh, I should, of course, Dr. Lennox Honeychurch's Forest of Freedom book. And so it's quite fun for us often to suggest an activity like, the Jacko Steps hike, but you must read Dr. Honeychurch's book before you do the hike, or while you do the hike. These combinations of things, so that guests can have a deeper and more enriching experience of the island.
That's commendable. I love this. This is splendid.
Yeah, it's funny because when I travel, I always love to read books by local authors, just to give me that kind of deeper insight. And it's incredible, Dominica's literary history, and even now the artistry here is so incredible. So it's fun just to be able to make that more available to guests who might not know about it.
Okay, awesome. We're going to open the line. So if persons listening, you want to call, the numbers to call 1-800-327, or you can call 448-3281 or 448-3279. If you leave a comment on social media, on DBS's Facebook page, I'm happy to read that out for Simon, so he's aware that you're listening to the talk. And Simon, someone says, the name Curlis Grell. Sir, we appreciate your support and contribution to the development of our little gem in the Caribbean.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind.
And Cheryl said, thanks, Simon. Simon, it's good listening to you and seeing the enthusiasm in your face. And thanks for being part of our island. We love you. And somebody else said, Hamilton Joseph says, good morning. I'm very appreciative of the promotion that is being given to the village of Calabishi. And Hamilton, you're very much welcome. And Cheryl Plummer, thank you for saying this is a great program. So this is good. And I like when people are appreciative and they recognize when something is going good. And Dominicans are like that.
Yes.
We see it, we say it. And we love to show gratitude and appreciation. So we thank you for the amazing work that you have been doing in Dominica with your business for us. So it's not just about you, it's about the entire island. And this is what makes your business very unique. So I commend you on that. Now, a large part of your business is sustainability. So in what ways does Seacliff Cottages promote sustainability and eco-friendly tourism?
Yes, so we're fully solar powered. We have 2 banks of solar panels, one out on our cliffside and one in our back garden. So actually we produce enough power from the solar to actually have excess that we then can sell back to Domlec again, back to the grid. So you sell power back to Domlec? Yes. I need to join your business. How can I join? Yes. So we are connected to the grid still. We wanted to be connected in that way, but so the solar power is definitely a great thing, and props to the previous owners for setting that all up. We've been able to maintain it, of course. Wow. So that's one thing. We also have a really good composting scheme at the cottages. We encourage all our guests to compost all their natural waste. We have special little compost bins, little trash cans in each cottage, and we have a great system. And like I mentioned, I love gardening, and we have an amazing gardener, Angelo, we work with. So we really enjoy putting that compost back into the garden to put it on the fruit trees, put it on the botanicals that go in the gin, and so it's this lovely cycle of nature that we're not wasting those things. Okay, I want you to go over this again in case persons are not understanding what exactly is composting. Yes. Break it down a bit, please. Yeah, so it's really any natural waste. So any kind of skin of pineapple, or I know if we're not using that for a bush tea or something, that's an example of that. But banana peel, any waste, some spare rice that didn't get eaten, we encourage guests to put all that in a separate little plastic bin in their cottages. And then when it gets full, or whenever they want to, then we have a large concrete compost area in our kind of waste and recycling area, and it has a lid to it, so it stops critters getting in there and stuff, with a mesh on top, so it's kind of safe from critters. But yeah, and that compost, and obviously in Dominica's climate, composting is amazing. It's so fast. You've barely put in your kind of veggie and fruit waste, and it's become this lovely, rich mulch that's so good for the garden, and it's such good fertilizer for plants.
And how do you ensure that your operations have minimal impact on the environment?
Yeah, so we're also very mindful about what electric items are in our cottages. So because we're solar powered, we actually, we don't have air conditioning, for instance. Now that's partly because we have this amazing sea breeze that comes off the water, and really we don't need it. And all our windows have insect screens so that guests can keep those windows open, feel the breeze. We do have ceiling fans and standing fans as well available, but we made that decision not to have air conditioning because it would sap so much power, and we're trying to be eco, and we're trying to leave a bit of a lighter footprint. The same, we don't have a bunch of appliances in our cottages. So the two-bedroom cottages do actually have washing machines. So we do have that in 2 of the cottages, but we don't have like a bunch of toasters and and our kettles are stovetop, right? So they're using the propane gas rather than electricity. So we're trying to be a little mindful of our usage of power as well.
All right, so that's awesome. So far, you're into distillery, or you have a distillery, you're into composting, you have solar energy that you sell to Domlec, which I put a big tick on. Awesome stuff. You have your eco cottage, and you always drive traffic to the different persons in your community, be it the different vendors, the restaurants, and other persons outside of your community. So based on these items above, aforementioned, you're doing an awesome job, Simon. You and your family.
Thank
That's
you.
highly commendable. So let's talk more about community engagement, because I know you engage your community. So how does Seacliff Cottages engage with and support the local community outside of just sending them to the bars and to this and that? Let's dive deeper into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with our gin, actually, we give a percentage of our profits of our gin to an amazing local non-profit, a foundation. They're called I Have a Right Foundation. They're amazing. They're based out of Wesley, and they work with young people. Specifically right now, they have a program that's really aimed at teenage girls. And I think they're just recognizing there's a real need all across the island, even in more rural areas like around Wesley and Calabishi and Marigot, for young people just to have resources. So they have this really cool program. And actually, my wife, Amber, she spoke at it recently. They have a thing called Girl Talk. So once a month, they gather the girls in the community, and they basically just have a chance for discussion. And Amber spoke a little bit about self-discovery, of how you discover what you're good at in life and what you want to do. And it was hosted in their library. They have a library called the Girls for Success Library, and it's all donated books that are like just perfect for what a teenager might want to read. And it was so cool just stepping into that space we went a few weeks ago and seeing it so beautifully furnished. It was such a comfortable, welcoming space for a teenager, and so much thought had gone into the environment, and it really did feel like a safe space, for these teenagers. So that's something we really, with the gin, we were like, okay, we would love to we'd like to give away some of our profits, and this felt like a great fit.
It is. Good job.
Yeah. Actually, we also, I should say, because I want to give them a plug because they're amazing. We recently sponsored Watu Cirque, the amazing
yes,
circus.
they're awesome.
Yeah. So they had a great training opportunity with an awesome trainer called Nigel Gage, and she was on the island. And so there was opportunity to get training from Nigel, and they reached out to us and said we would consider sponsoring that training. They had a few shows coming up in Martinique and Guadeloupe, and we were very excited for that opportunity because, again, we love the arts. Like both my wife and I, we love the arts and creativity and those things. So when there's opportunities to partner and collaborate with creative expressions at Dominica, we're all about that.
Great. And what has the feedback been like? You support the Girls Initiative, the Y2 Cirque. What has the feedback been like, the response from the people you've been supporting?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Like you said, I feel like people are so incredible at being thankful, you know, and it's just a small thing, right? Again, and like we feel excited we're like thanking back to like I have a right in Watu So, because it's beautiful for us to get to walk into spaces and see these different expressions of creativity or youth work or whatever it might be. So yeah, those collaborations have been very life-giving for us.
I know you host events like the poetry workshop that I did a couple of years ago. Is that still something that you're open to? Can persons reach out for events, activities on your premises?
Yes, totally. So, and from everything, like, I think it was the Create Caribbean retreat that you were part of. So we love Shyla and all that she's doing with that. So we would definitely be open to more of those retreats. I know we were talking to the Watakubuli Artists Association about a possible retreat with them later this year. We're really open to that. So, we currently have a range of retreats. Actually, it's something I guess we haven't talked about yet, but we have a range of retreats at the cottages. It's something that we've really been growing as part of the business. Nice. So we now have regular yoga retreats, reading retreats. Someone might not have heard of that before.
No. So what is a reading retreat? Come and read a book?
Yes. Well, full credit to the leader of that retreat. She's called Cindy, or Instagram. She's Book of Sins. She has a very big following. She's Jamaican, based in Trinidad. She's an amazing woman. She is a bookstagrammer. If people haven't heard of that, she is a book influencer. So all the big publishing houses, everyone goes to her and they want Cindy to give good reviews of their books because she's very influential, and she reads mainly books by people of color, Caribbean authors, but she has a huge following. And we connected with her a few years ago, and she'll now be doing her third and fourth retreat this year with us. So it's amazing. She comes with mainly women, but it's amazing seeing the women. People like on the retreat last year, we had women come from London, from the States, and from all these other Caribbean islands. And it's a privilege for us to get to kind of...
It's exciting, I can tell.
Yeah, we join the book group and like sit in and get to see it. So really a reading retreat is... Yes, there's some book discussion in the mix, but also just Cindy is taking her group all around the island. She loves Dominica, so she's going whale watching with the folks. She's going on chasing waterfalls. So it's activity meets reading and the love of books, basically.
But all based at the Seacliff Cottages.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Okay, so what else? What other activities, events are happening at your space? Yeah,
so in the past, we've also done book launches. Like I mentioned, Papillote Press before. So we actually did a book launch for a really awesome book called Black Man Listen by Kathy McLean. And we did that last year. So that was really great to, again, like host a space where Kathy could talk about her book, and people could gather and have some drinks and nibbles and things on the deck at Seacliff. It's nice. We actually, one of our buildings that we renovated has a really large covered deck space with lovely sea views. So that's really a great hosting space. So that's the space that our retreats will do their yoga on. You know, it's big enough for about 10 people to lay out their yoga mats. That's where our retreats will have their meals and have their social times. So that was where we did our book launch. We've also had a artist exhibition. Actually, it was a collaboration with Chase Lawrence, I mentioned before. He's an amazing artist in Calabishi, and then also Yuri Jones, who an amazing photographer based in Roseau. So it was some of Yuri's photographs framed beautifully in big canvases, and Chase's work. And so we had a lovely art exhibition as well with drinks and things as well. So we're always looking for opportunities to host fun events like that are connected to artistic expressions or whatever it is, you know.
So that's beautiful. I love how you integrate different events into your environment, and it's a great space. Again, it's the garden, it's the lovely sea breeze, and you don't need an AC.
No,
and that is a fact, because when I went there, I was not hot, and there was no need for the fan. The sea breeze, the constant movement of the air, you're cooled throughout the entire day. So it's a lovely location. It's quite scenic. It's just a walk down the cliff. Well, don't go over the cliff. But a walk towards the edge of the cliff, and you can see everything below. I did not, however, get to the river and to the sea that you mentioned earlier. And I do intend to come back. And hopefully when I get there again, I want to explore that too. Somebody left a message for you. The name is Coralie Thomas. She says, good morning all, great program. I'm from the neighboring sister village of Woodford Hill, and I'm very happy to see the highlights of our beautiful Calabishi being brought to the surface. Our villages in the north are rich with beauty and Dominica by extension. Thank you for that. And of course, Dominica is a beautiful space.
Yes, absolutely.
And this side of the island there's so much to discover, so much to see, and the people are just wonderful in that area. Not saying that everywhere else you cannot find wonderful people and wonderful spaces, but when it's good, say it's good.
Yes.
Okay, so you spoke earlier briefly on some feedback from people and the different testimonials. So let's go into more detail of that, I know that people would be saying a lot of things to you. When people leave those reviews with you, what happens next? Do you use their feedback to improve your business product? What is it?
Yeah. No, absolutely. We always want to hear from guests, and we encourage them to, let us know, feedback they might have and things they'd like to see changed. We've really worked on our welcome guide. We have a welcome guide in all the cottages. And so we just try and put so much detail in there. And we do hear feedback that people really appreciate that. Particularly on their first day, they've just landed on the island and they're figuring out, looking at maps and things like this. And so, we try and document all the local things to do in that guide really clearly. And obviously, we're putting in there the local businesses, the restaurants, the bars that people should visit, the guides that people can use. Those things. So it's kind of connecting them with the local businesses, but also just making it super clear how to get around and what to see, and all the driving times, as well. So it's just good to know if you have a day when you've driven a long distance, maybe you've driven all the way to the Sulphur Springs or Boiling Lake. Maybe you want a day where you just stay local and you just go to Batterborough, or you just go to Woodford Hill Beach or something. So we try and keep all those details in there as well, so people can really plan their stay in Dominica in a way that they know the full picture of it.
And what aspects of Seacliff Cottages do guests seem to appreciate the most?
They mention that guide. A lot of people say they really found that guide helpful. They do really appreciate the proximity to community. So being able to walk into the village, or just kind of connect. And like I mentioned before, people so often mention Pascal and Rowan. Pascal's amazing. He's a farmer. So he works with us. He's one of our taxi guys for the Seacliff team. But he also is so generous with his farm produce. So he's always bringing plantain, bringing jellies for the guests. He gets to know our guests so well, and he doesn't no one's payment for it. He's just giving gifts. And so
thank you, Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal, he's a legend.
Good job.
He's a legend. And so people are always mentioning him. And the same for Rowan, our manager. She's awesome. She when Rowan often does our gin tours as well, and she has such incredible stories. I have my spiel on the gin tour about the calabash and about the bay, the types of bay leaf, but she has these incredible stories from her grandmother and things that I couldn't bring to the table in my scratch of the surface of Dominica. She just brings such a depth to when she talks about things here as well. And so honestly, those two, tourism is so personal, it's so relational, and it's amazing just to see those two guys get mentioned so many times. It makes so much sense. Who our guests remember when they leave Dominica. Of course, it's the nature. Of course, it's the pretty things. But it's the people. Yeah. It's the people. And those chats with Pascal as he's cutting the top off a coconut and giving them some jelly water, that. Those are memorable for them, and they do really appreciate that.
Commendable, indeed. And tourism is everybody's business. And you and your family has been doing a lot to market Dominica. So you're not just into composting, selling your solar to Domlec or into the distillery or having this eco resort or employing locals. You are also actively marketing Dominica on Instagram, Facebook, and throughout your entire ventures out of Dominica. Let's talk about that.
I mean, honestly, that's the funnest and easiest thing ever. I mean, this island has so many beautiful places to discover, and it's just, I pick up my phone and record a little bit of it, and it's amazing. It's so easy. But I love doing that. So I love taking video content and photographs. That's something I love doing. And our family really loves exploring the island. So it's a lot of fun. Normally at weekends, we'll at least take one day out of the two and go and explore somewhere new. And it's crazy that 3 years in, we're still so many places we haven't been to yet. But it's also just, we love telling a bit wider the world about Dominica. You know, like, it's so crazy that still people get it confused with the Dominican Republic or this and that. And so it's really fun just with our, you know, some of our followers are from New York, some of our followers are from the UK and Europe. And so it's cool to be able to like show some of these unusual, unique sites around Dominica in a way in that platform, you know, and it's very fun for us. We're doing it anyway. We're exploring anyway. So I just feel like I'm turning the phone on it and, you know, capturing some of those adventures. And I think it's nice that we've got kids too. So I think for visitors who are thinking of coming as families, to show them, look, here are our two kids aged 9 and 10 who are loving this beach, loving this waterfall hike, who are doing this thing. And I think for people from other countries, visitors, they just get to sort of relate then, and it's that connection point of like, okay, great, here's a family, super safe, having these lovely outdoor adventures. And so they can think, oh, I'd like to go there too, you know, and that's the idea.
What has the feedback been like?
Oh, yeah, great. And it's so great to, I mean, on that note, literally to have people from the States or Europe or other places be like, oh, we saw your post about this with your kids and you seem to be, you know, having a great time doing this or that, you know, or conversely, like, so it's cool. I did a reel after the Boiling Lake hike with Nathan, and definitely people have said to me since then, oh, he looks like an amazing guide. I'm going to reach out to Nathan, you know, so it's really cool to like see that. Oh, and then recently we've done a few reels on Instagram for restaurants. We did one for Nets of Reef, which is a restaurant that just opened in Calabishi by Webster Marie. And Naz is the amazing chef working there. And it's a beautiful new restaurant. So it was just fun to be able to like, well, let's instantly just spread the word, record the amazing opening ceremony they have, do a quick reel. And then it's great for visitors who are about to come to Dominica. Maybe they're coming in a month or something. They can straight away, oh, I'm going to go to that restaurant, you know. And then we also recently went to Soursop Bar and Grill in Portsmouth.
Oh, that's my neighbor. How did you enjoy that? Ashton is awesome.
Oh my God, he's a miracle worker.
Yes.
But from everything, talking about, you know, we talked about the attention to detail at our cottages and the design.
He built everything.
Yes.
Everything. It's just amazing.
My wife and I were like,
all the time.
were you in construction, Ashton? No. No, like we knew he was a chef. I mean, his food was incredible, but the design of that place, the wood,
the attention to detail,
the chandeliers, and
out of bottle.
Yeah, it was so cool. So again, like that was so easy for me. I like just literally took a few clips, and the reel did so well. It just did so well because I think people were just loving the space. The food obviously looked delicious in the video clips. It tasted delicious, you know. So it was a mixture of like Dominican followers who are loving it and seeing it. Maybe like you, they know Ashton, they know the place, and it was visitors who were lots of comments from people saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to go there now. I didn't know that was there. Great, I'm going to go there. I'll be visiting next week." So fun. It's just those things for me are fun because it's like partnering with an amazing local venture and then just getting to put it in a slightly different place that maybe they didn't have publicity at that point. So anyway, it's really enjoyable, those points.
And what about your kids and your wife? How do they feel about the island when you go on your adventures every weekend or every other weekend? Yeah,
they love it. I definitely lead the adventures. So I always try and like on a weekend, we try and have one chill day and then one adventure day. But no, Amber loves hiking. My wife loves hiking. She loves nature. So she loves being out in it. And the boys do too. It's just, I mean, honestly, where we live is so beautiful. Like my boys' favorite thing to do is just go down to Hodges Beach, you know. So normally one day of the weekend we'll try and do something like that. That's just like, because sometimes they don't want to get in the car. They just want to, and like, we're so lucky we don't have to go far for like those nature experiences at all. So they like love Hodges. They'll just go down with their friends. It's cool. Their friends are from school, Dominican friends. Really, all their friends are Dominican kids, and they just love being outdoors with them. One of their best mates, Caden, actually was just in the States for a bit, and he came back, and it was so fun because with Caden, they always just go out, pick coconuts, pick mangoes, like they're just out in the bush doing stuff. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Let's take a pause on that. Somebody's on the line. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Talking Tourism. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. And the gentleman, I don't know his name, but I'm listening to your program.
Simon Morris.
Mr. Simon Morris, okay. I am from the village of Calabishi, but I've been living out for a while. And, well, not visiting, I just came to check on my property. But listening to this program, I am very elated and very happy for the promotion that is given to my village. For that matter, my immediate relatives came from the area. They called it Dubik.
Mm-hmm.
And all the places that he has been speaking about. When I was a younger person, we used to walk from Dubik to go all the way to the Hodges River and picnics and everything else. So now, his gardener or his other worker, Pascal, is my first cousin.
Nice.
And yes, but I am very, very happy. And he has chosen one of the best villages. In the past, in the 60s and 70s, Calibishi has been, there used to have a tidy village competition every year. And Calibishi has won this competition on several occasions as the tidiest and cleanest village in Dominica. The other village I knew that got this prize was Girodel. But, Monelle, I know you. I am Victor Joseph.
Hi.
Hi. And congratulations to this gentleman, Mr. Morris. And, I do hope that, the villagers of this beautiful village has been patronizing this place. And I am on an island, and maybe you never know, I may visit his property, his business place before I depart.
You should.
very
You
much.
should. Why not, right?
No. I will, for that matter.
Good job.
I didn't hear him speak. I understood this weekend will be the famous village feast after 6-7 years, the St. Peter's Feast.
Oh, wow.
And this is a feast where, I will tell you, almost the whole of Dominica used to come to patronize.
Wow.
In days gone by. The last big feast I remember having was when Rosie Douglas was alive, when he brought down this famous radio announcer from ZJB, Montserrat, Radio Antilles.
Mm-hmm.
That was a feast that was well attended, and I'm hoping to be part of this feast this year. So congratulations for choosing the best village in Dominica. Thank you very much, Mr. Morris, and
Thank you.
Monelle.
You're most welcome, Victor, and thank you very much for calling this morning.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Simon, look at that. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy you've been doing an awesome job in Dominica. I like that your family is fully integrated into our culture. Your children are attending the schools. Your family are going on adventures. You're employing the locals. You're supporting all Dominicans, all writers by promoting their books or having their books at your accommodations. You're supporting our artists by having their crafts and their photos within your space. You're supporting the island on its whole by using the natural elements, all things Dominica, into building your product. So I commend you on that. This is awesome stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we're talking... sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm glad that gentleman just mentioned the Village Feast as well, because we're actually sponsoring the St. Peter's Feast. We're one of the sponsors of the Village Feast in Calabeach this weekend, and we're so excited. I'm really excited to see the blessing of the boats. I love the traditional pieces that I'm learning about Dominica all the time, so I'm really excited to see that on Sunday. But yeah, it's very cool. Like he mentioned, it's had a pause for a few years, the feast in Calabeach, so it's very cool that it's back on again.
But it's interesting. A lot of communities have a St. Peter's Feast. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess it's just everybody connected together for one feast. Why not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking quickly, briefly on your family, social media, your children involvement into the whole social media marketing of Dominica. We want to find you online on social media. What are your handles?
Yes, thank you. So it's quite easy. Just Seacliff Dominica is for our cottages, and that's for our adventures on the island as well. And then for the gin, Seacliff Gin. So, yeah.
Seacliff Cottages on Facebook and on Instagram.
Oh wait, sorry, no, it's just Seacliff Dominica actually.
So Seacliff Dominica on Instagram.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, Seacliff
It's
Dominica.
the same actually. It's the same. It's Seacliff Dominica on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And do you have a website?
We do, and that's www.seacliffdominica.com.
Awesome. Future plans. Are there any upcoming developments or new features that guests can look forward to? Pray tell.
Great question.
Yes.
So definitely we're going to keep expanding our retreats. And it's been nice. We always, any kind of new connection we make with someone who loves Dominica, we'll talk to them about, we want to do a retreat here. So even there's a Londoner, amazing guy who's a musician but into nature, and even recently I was talking to him like, do you want to bring some Londoners, like some diaspora Londoners from the Caribbean to like a nature retreat here? Dr. Birdie can do a bunch of it, and this and that. I would love to do a retreat with Dr. Honeychurch. I think that would be so interesting to have.
And I would attend.
Right. I would love to do one where, people come and it's like a historical and literary trip to Dominica. And so we're kind of working on that and publicizing that a little bit in the UK and the US.
So when will that be? I would love
next
to attend.
year. Yeah, it would be April next year is what we're looking at. It's all very, very tentative. But I would love to do that. I feel like there's so many different routes for kind of different themed retreats in Dominica, from nature to writing to creativity to history, like Dr. Honeychurch could bring to the table. We've also loved doing partnerships. One thing I wanted to mention earlier that's gone down well with our guests is we do a great collaboration with Shop DM. So, because some of our guests don't necessarily want to come into Roseau if their trip is shorter, but they do want some of the groceries that are available in town. And so Shop DM do this amazing. We have a little flyer in each of the cottages, and Shop DM did a special curated shopping list for us that it's more like products for our master fans and fresh stuff and things like that people might want when they're on holiday, snacks and things like that. And if a guest orders before 9 o'clock in the morning, then Shop DM will arrange a same day delivery of those items. So it's been great to work with Tony and Gandhi on those items. Like, it's fun for us to see these entrepreneurial, amazing businesses that are happening in Dominica in ways that we can collaborate and give our guests some of those services. So I think we're always looking for those kind of collaborations. Like, okay, how can we work with something that's going on in Dominica that would connect well with our guests?
And what about you mentioned short? These sound like short-term and actual activities. What about long-term goals for Seacliff Cottages?
Long-term,
You're gonna have 10 more cottages.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe.
Calavishi for
yes,
us.
maybe. No, we've definitely thought about, because we have 2 acres, so we definitely have space to grow a little bit more, but we're very mindful of keeping the privacy and the gardens around it. We're never gonna build it so that people are so close to each other.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, we want
very
people
much
to keep their space. And also we're going slowly. Like, we did renovate one cottage right away, the bigger one with the deck, and we've done other smaller renovations, but we want to take our time, and just sort of not rush into things. But with the gin too, already it's going down well enough, and sales have been good enough that
So the gin is at a Whitchurch in town and other spaces, right?
Yes,
so after this program, I'm going to go buy myself a gin.
Yes, Fresh Market. It's right there, Fresh Market Whitchurch. Whitchurch is one of our main. Whitchurch orders a lot from us, which is what we love Whitchurch. They're great.
I may be able to have a sip at lunchtime.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about it.
Very good.
Awesome.
So we might need a bit more space for our gin distillery, because there's a very small distillery right now on site. So that's another plan. We might need to expand that a little bit. We might also look to expand our gin tours. Like, right now, our tasting tour is free. And like I said, please, even if you're not going to stay at the cottages.
I did not know this existed.
Yeah, please. And lots of Dominicans come. It's not just for visitors. So all you need to do is just message us, text us or phone us and let us know when you'd like to come for a tour, and we'll try and accommodate.
The tours include sampling of the different.
Yes, and they're totally free. Okay. It's a free tour. The tour includes the Gin Botanicals Trail. You walk around the garden. We actually had Chase, our friend, the artist, do our signs for the different botanicals, the bay leaves, and we put the Creole name for the plants on there as well. Chase helped us with that. So we've got all the kind of, we're trying to obviously just give that amazing awareness of the Dominican plant knowledge and all those things.
Okay, so is there a cost to that tour?
No, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
And booking for the tour, what number can persons call to book?
Yeah. So my WhatsApp is best, which you can find on our website or on our Instagram easily enough. So you'll be able to find that, or our website. It's all detailed on there. and the tour then includes also tasting not only of our main signature gin, but also my wife is also always making small micro batch flavors. So right now we have a purple. It's a ready to drink cocktail. So it's naturally colored purple by this butterfly pea flower, which you can see in our gardens growing, and then you can try it, and it's the color of it is amazing. It's really cool, and it's a little sweeter than our main gin. So we offer tours and tastings, and you can just let us know when you might want to come for that. And then, of course, we offer the bottles for sale. We actually have smaller bottles for sale as well as the big ones at the gin distillery. We wanted some exclusive items that we only sold there. So if people just want a small sampler bottle, we sell that. We also sell our gin pops that we had at Jazz and Creole. They went down very well there.
Yes, I recall.
Yes, so those are popsicles with about a shot of gin in them. Very refreshing. We have some great flavors. We have the cane juice flavor. We have passion fruit flavor. We have a rose petal flavor that we did a collaboration with Nature Blends, which was a really fun collaboration. Nature Blends is based in Bent, so it was nice to work with like a local amazing wellness brand.
Okay, not to cut you off, we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
But I noticed you did not mention your number, but you did ask persons to check your website. Some persons may need to record your number because they either want to book a tour, they want to book your accommodation, they might want you to sell some solar to them one time, you don't know.
Yes.
So can you please give out your contact number, please?
Yes. So my WhatsApp number is 646 421 8681.
That's 646 821
Wait, no, 646 421
421
8681.
8681.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So initially I came here to talk to you about the Seacliff Echo cottages, but there's so much more to you and your family than just your cottages. So I had to dive deeper into that. So we have your account details. You're on Instagram. We can find you at Seacliff Dominica, and that's SEACLIFF, Seacliff Dominica. You can find all the videos, the adventures in Dominica, images of their property, reels about their property. They're also on Facebook, same thing, Seacliff Dominica. Their website, www.seacliffcottages.com. Correct?
Oh, just seacliffdominica.com.
Seacliffdominica.com.
Yep.
If you're looking up for the gin experience, that is Seacliff Gin on Instagram and Facebook. And then we have you covered. It's almost time for us to wrap up and say our goodbyes, but I cannot leave without you saying your final words. So please, what would you like to tell Dominicans about your wonderful property, the amazing adventures, the beautiful things that you're doing, you giving back to... Listen, this is just commendable. I've been meeting a lot of people throughout my short life on Earth. And I must say that you're one of the incredible persons that I have met. I love that you're giving back. So this for you is not just for profit. You also serve. So this is more like a service that you're giving to Dominica. And I commend you. I know the people in the community are very pleased with you. The people who are listening to us via radio and social media, they too commend you and what you're doing for us in Dominica. And again, you're here for a while, so you're Dominican too. So we are Dominican. So we thank you for your service.
No, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me on this show today. I really appreciate it. And we just love being here. So thank you to everyone for the welcome and how welcome we've been made to feel here. It's amazing.
All right, and just tell people 2 reasons why. I said a lot, but give them 2 reasons why they should come to your establishment.
All right. So the gin, of course, on-site gin distillery, free tours, come explore our gardens, look at the lovely sea views, taste our gin, but then also come and stay. We do offer a locals discount. Mm-hmm. So let us know, reach out if you want to stay for the weekend, have a staycation. Our views are amazing. The gardens are beautiful. Come and have a staycation in Calavici.
All right, so on that note, I'm going to plan my next staycation, and I'm going to go to Seacliff Echo Cottages so I can try some gin. I can use some of that free solar power. I can get into the composting. I can experience a lovely natural environment. I can meet some awesome Dominicans on the property who will cut me a coconut or peel me some fruit and talk about their amazing adventures growing up on this beautiful gem we call Dominica. And I can do all of that at Seacliff Cottages in Calavici, Dominica. I'll certainly be there very soon. All right, guys, so this is where I say goodbye. And I thank you very much for joining us right here on Talking Tourism. My name is Monelle Alexis. It has been an absolute pleasure being in your company. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesdays from 10 to 11 p.m. right here on DBS Radio. And make DBS Radio your number one choice for all things radio and advertising. And if you're a visitor, you're visiting Dominica, welcome to the Nature Island to meet our beautiful people. And while you're here, remember to respect our people, respect our beautiful environment, and respect yourself. And above all, live and enjoy your life. My name is Monelle Alexis. Do have an awesome day. Talk to you soon.